Everybody, welcome in. How's everybody doing? I have a very, very bright light today, and I'm not sure if I like it or not. It is very bright. Also, I'm using a new iPad, and it's not it's new to me. Trying to figure out where is the camera here? Because so over the weekend, oh, and there's a cat in here. It's a Tuesday. What do you want? I make no promises that anything's gonna be normal around here. I um I broke the charger off in my iPad, which I don't know if you've ever done that to an iPad or a phone. It's nearly impossible to get the broken off piece out. I still can't get it out. So I'm using Q's iPad, and now I don't know exactly where to look because his is different. Am I looking at you if I look here? Or should I just look at myself? Like, it's weird. So, apologize. If I look like I don't know where to look, it's because I don't. I have no idea what's happening right now. So, apologies. You are lower. You are lower. Like, where lower? Like, right here? It's over here. Oh, now I'm looking at you, aren't I? That's so weird. That is so weird because my iPad, the camera was on the side, it wasn't on the top. So when I would look like this way and it would make eye contact with the camera. His is on a totally different spot. So, yeah, weird, really strange. Well, now I know. Now I know. Now I'm not just looking off into space somewhere, but I am looking off into space when it comes to the cat, because what is happening right now? That's Gemma. Gemma, Gemma, Gemma. Gemma, 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 Gemma. She does not understand me. I mean, I think she does understand me, but she was, remember, a stray that we found outside, and I brought her into the house, and like all I do is sing to her. She probably is like, humans are really weird. All this one does is sing to me all the time, don't I? I sing to her all the time. She's all right. Well, it's going to take me a while to get used to this new camera thing. So, anyway, it is Tuesday. It is a regular day, as you can see, chaos as normal. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do this week because it's kind of that weird in between. We haven't gotten bargain bead box yet. We just came off of a holiday. I still have the bargain bead box from November, and I'm not over it yet. So forgive me, but I'm using it today, if that's okay with you guys. Well, I mean, I hope it is because I'm doing it anyway. But I'm going to be using the bargain bead box and the companion bundle kind of basically. I just wasn't over this color purple yet. I'm still in love with it, and I'm still loving the copper. So I wanted to use it again for another project, and I'm combining elements from both in this project. So I hope that's okay. So even if you don't have, even if she was touching me on the back of the head. Even if you don't have the bargain bead box or the companion bundle, I think you're still going to find some inspiration in this project. It's pretty straightforward. Maybe you've got some elements in your own stash that you could use in a very, very similar way. So that is what the plan is today. We're going to be using more of that beautiful Winterberry purple and copper to put together. It's a simple necklace, but I think it's pretty, and I hope that you guys will like it. I think the most important part of this project today is the pendant part of it, which it's not hard, but hopefully it will inspire you a little bit. Also wanted to let you guys know that Hardwired is open for enrollment. So if you would like to be a Hardwired member, now is your opportunity to do so. We only open for enrollment at the end of every month, and that just happens to be right now. Well, I mean, it's already December, but you get what I'm saying. So we're open for enrollment right now if you would like to come and join. You've got a few days to make that decision. You just go over to the Hardwired Facebook group and apply to be a member. Now, the trick there is to make sure that you, number one, get questions, because if you don't get the questions, we can't let you in. So make sure that the questions are presented to you. If they're not, reapply. But when you do get the questions, be sure that you answer them and you submit all of the answers to all of the questions, not just the first question. Yes, I agree to the rules. No, 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 no. You got to answer all of the questions so that we can contact you and get you set up with your invoicing. Okay. So just know you got to do more than just answer that one first question. Let's see, anything else? Yes, Patreon is open for enrollment anytime you want. So if you'd like to be a Patreon member, I would love to have you come and be a Patreon subscriber. Patreon is $10 a month, and with Patreon subscriptions, you get an additional 3 projects a month from me that are uploaded and are exclusive to Patreon only. So you won't see those projects anywhere else. This week's project is a mixed metals project of gold and hematite colored metals, and a really cool kind of, it gives me like New Year's feelings. So if you'd like to come and join Patreon, I would love to have you do that. And you don't have to wait till the end of the month. You can be a Patreon subscriber anytime you want to. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? We are going to get turned around and we're going to get right into our project. So let me turn you around. Oh, no, not turning you off. I do that every time. All right. Now let's see about this new light that I have. I hope this helps. I don't know if it's going to. I'm not sure. I may need to back it up a little bit. It's a little brighter, not a lot, but I think it does kind of help a little bit, you know, a little bit. All right, so we are going to put together a really pretty necklace, and I wanted to focus on the big pendant. So, and I say that like you're supposed to know exactly what I'm talking about, because there were actually 2 very large pendants. This one is the lepidolite. The other really large pendant was metal. And I still want to use this one in a project. I just haven't figured out exactly what I want to do with it yet. If you've not seen it, I'm going to show it to you. And honestly, I could have used this in today's project. I love this. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's so pretty, but my issue with it is the bail that's on it. And because you have this bail on it, you're kind of limited unless you want to get super creative with how you're going to incorporate this into your design. You almost just have to string it on, unless you want to do like a seed bead bail coming off of this, like a little seed bead triangle, or you want a wire wrap or whatever. And I didn't want to mess with any of that. So I decided that I would save this for something else and that I would go with this one. And I am obsessed with this one. I think it is so, so pretty. The only drawback I think to this one is the large hole. Now, I understand the reason for the large hole on this one. It is so that you can use large cords to tie and create like a knotted bail if you wanted to. So you could use leather or hemp or thicker cords. But I'm a wire girly at heart, so I wanted to be able to wire wrap this one. And in order to do that without showing off this incredibly large hole in the front, I decided that I would layer mine with one of the beautiful pendants, one of the smaller pendants that is included. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to layer this right on top of that, which I think is really quite beautiful. And it helps to kind of camouflage that extra large hole, and it allows me to wire wrap. So that's the plan. We're going to do this first. And I'm going to be using some 22 gauge wire for this. And I'm using quite a bit of 22 gauge wire. And when I say quite a bit, I'm talking probably about 3 feet of wire. May not need all of that, but I am using a lot of wire. All right, so I'm going to take my wire. I'm going to thread on my poinsettia, and then I'm going to thread on my big stone pendant here. And I'm going to leave myself about 3 inches on one side and then my long working tail on the other side. Okay. And I'm going to crisscross these wires right up here on the top edge of the pendant. Okay. And I'm going to take that long, long wire and I'm actually going to bend it out towards the side. The shorter wire, I'm going to bend it straight up and down. Okay. And then I'm going to take the long wire and I'm going to wrap around that shorter wire about 2 times, just so that it's secure enough for me to move on to the next step. Just leave all this extra wire though. Okay. Just leave it. All right. Now I'm going to straighten that out. And I'm going to thread on one of the little faceted amethyst beads. I had a few of these left over, even after making some really cool cluster earrings. But I'm going to thread that on, and then I'm going to do a wrapped loop. Okay. So I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers, bend to the wire, and then I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, go up and over, rotate my pliers, take the wire over to the other side, and then I'm going to wire wrap in that space. And I got to be kind of mindful of this long wire right here. So just kind of going slow, trying to navigate around it. All right. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and I'm going to trim off the excess. All right. Now I'm going to use all of the rest of this wire to create a messy wire wrap over the top of this pendant and cover up most of the loop here. So hold on. All right, so I'm just going to start wrapping around, and it's probably going to be a messy wrap. And it's going to take, like I said, quite a bit of wire. It's not going the way I want it to. And you can always undo it. If it's not doing what you want, undo it and start again. I need to get this a little more stable because it keeps wanting to wiggle around on me. And of course, the more you wrap, the more stable this is going to become. Just be patient with it. All right. Still kind of wobbling around on me. But we're going to fix that here in just a second. And again, if you don't like the way that it's looking, undo it because it's just wire. It's still very, very wobbly. And I may need to actually add. No, I don't. We're getting there. That looks pretty good. I like that. So be sure you pick out a wire color that you really like. I love this antique coppery color. The wire, though, is a dead soft wire, so it drives me absolutely crazy. It's not easy to work with at all. because I prefer the German style wire that has that more medium temper to it. But the color is right. So I'm just kind of living with it, you know? Right, and then, hold on, let's undo some of these. Oh my gosh, some of you are getting snow. I want snow so bad. It did that weird like rain to sleet kind of thing yesterday, but no snow. It's cold though. It is very, very chilly. All right, now I need to tuck in that tail. So honestly, I'm just gonna kind of stick it in and push it with my pliers just so that it's not sticking out. And there you go. I think it's very, very pretty. You have to like wire in order to appreciate this pendant, okay? And I understand that some people are not going to like that messy wire mess on the top there, and that's okay. If you don't like the messy, that's fine. You can still do a very clean, you know, wire wrap at the top if you want to. Just know that you are going, that the layering of the pendants here is still going to be very, very obvious. There's another cat at the door trying to come in. Let me see if I can get her to stop pawing at the door. She's gonna drive me crazy. Hold on. Come on. Come on, Cora. Let's go. You can't disrupt all day. In you go. Okay. And then she ran back out. Okay, fine. She just wants to paw at the door. That's fine. Whatever she needs to do. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, the large hole on the pendant with this one laying over it is going to be a lot more obvious. I mean, you can still kind of see it. See how you can see the bead mat behind there? You can still kind of see it, but it's not nearly as obvious. So, you know, you can still wire wrap this and not have that big wire wrap nest at the top, but I kind of love it. But again, I'm a wire person, so I love all of that. All right, now I'm going to turn this into like an actual focal here. So I'm going to add another one of those little faceted amethyst beads to the top of that with an eye pin. I feel like this just really kind of finishes the whole thing off. And maybe I'm just being a little silly about it and it doesn't need it, but I kind of like it. So I'm just going to take a pre-made eye pin because I am not about to make eye pins with that wire, that dead soft wire. Oh my goodness. All right, and I'm just going to do a simple loop. So I'm grabbing the wire where it exits the bead. I'm going to bend the wire. I come in with my cutter tool, trim, leaving myself about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Round nose pliers, and then going to roll back to create my simple loop. So I've got a loop on the top and a loop on the bottom. And I'm going to open one of those, attach it to my pendant, and close that back. So that is what I've got, which I think makes a nice little focal. I do. You could leave that part off, but I like it. Jen says, could you glue it to the stone and then wire wrap it? Yes, you could. As a matter of fact, I even thought about doing that myself. You could, and you could still do it actually. If you don't want this to move around and wiggle on you, you could take just the tiniest little drop of E6000 and place it right in the center of your pendant and then just lay it right down on top of the stone. It'll keep it from wiggling around. Do I think that it would hold it in place permanently? No, you still got to do the wire wrapping. But yes, there is no reason why you couldn't do that. And that will definitely keep everything from moving around on you while you're wire wrapping and once the entire thing is made. And nobody will ever see it because it only takes the tiniest amount. So yeah, totally, totally acceptable. 100%. All right, so the rest of this is pretty Sarah S. If you know how I make things, I'm gonna show you. Just doing a beaded chain, and I'm gonna do a little beaded chain using the little connector elements that were included. I loved these, thought they were super cute, and I'm using some of those little faceted rondelles. And you guys know I have to have the dangles. So we're creating a little beaded chain and we're going to hang our pendant from that. So one side's already ready. We're going to do one side together. Yes, you can leave off, excuse me, the dangles. You don't have to use those. And then for the length, I'm using some of the chain that was included as well. So I tried to use as much of this box as I possibly could, but I got to tell you, even when, and it's even worse when you add in the, and I don't mean worse in like a bad way, but if you're trying to use all the beads, when you even throw in the companion bundle, oh my gosh, I have so many beads. I could make probably 10 more pieces of jewelry and not work all the way through everything. So I was trying to use as much as I could. We've done what, this is design number 4 out of this box. Like I still have so much. So it's a really good testament to how much stuff you get. All right, so we're going to create our beaded chain. Now, a couple of my elements have already been done, but we're going to do a couple of them together and then we'll put all of this together. So I'm using the lightest pink of the little rondelles for the dangles. And then I'm using the kind of medium purple. There's even darker purple involved. I'm using this kind of purple for the spaces in between my little floral links. Also using pre-made head pins or eye pins because why not? You know, why not? All right, so the first one coming off of the focal here is just 2. So I'm going to take an eye pin and I'm going to thread on 2 of the little rondelles. And we're just going to do a simple loop. Okay, bend the wire, coming in with my cutter. I'm going to trim. I cannot wait to see the December box. I hear that there's a teaser video out there, but I've not watched it because I really wanted it to be a surprise. So I've not watched the teaser. Have you guys watched it? All right. Now, the other connectors, there's 3 of them. Those have 5 of the rondelles on them. So you've seen the teaser. Oh, I'm trying to stay, like, I want to watch so bad. I want to watch. My friend sent me the link to it and I want to watch it, but oh, I want it to be a surprise. I think the mystery does make it better. I just, I don't want to spoil it, you know? All right. I love surprises. So as long as they're good surprises. All right. Now we're going to do a simple loop on this one. All right. So there's our loop on that one. All right. So if all of those links are ready to go, this project is going to go by really quickly and then we're not going to have anything else to do. I don't like it when that happens. All right, we are going to wire wrap because we're going to make the mate to this little dangle, this guy right here. So take a head pin. I'm using little 24 gauge head pins because these beads are very, very small. All right, and then I'm just going to do a wrapped loop on this. Okay, bend the wire. All right, and then we're coming in with our round nose pliers, going up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we're going to wire wrap in that space. Oh. After the holidays are over, I will be making a very large purchase from Beadbox Bargains to get us ready for the new year. So if there are projects or techniques that you guys would like to see in 2026, I'm taking requests. So let me know, because that helps when I go to make my purchases, when I go to shop for things. It definitely helps me make decisions based on what you guys want to see. So don't hesitate to send pictures or requests or whatever to us. And by us, I mean me and the team. Feel free to reach out and let us know. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little jump ring to connect these together. Might as well. It's already open. So I'm using a little 4mm jump ring. And I'm using all the jump rings that I'm using in this project. I'm using the ones that came in the box. Loved that they had jump rings this time, and it was a variety of different sizes. I love that. So I'm using some of the smallest jump rings for our little dangles. Okay. I'm just going to sit that right there. Okay. So now let's go ahead and build our little beaded chain to match this one. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so we're going to start with our little 2-piece here. We're going to open up one of the loops on it, and we're going to attach it to one of our little floral links, and we're going to close that back. All right, now we're going to move to the other side. We're going to open up one of the simple loops on the 5 beaded connectors that we made. Close that back. Move to the other. So I'm using the simple loops to be my connectors. I'm not adding extra jump rings here. Okay, so we're just moving down the line here. Oh, not that you couldn't use jump rings. If you wanted to add a little extra length to this, you definitely could use the jump rings, but I just don't think it's necessary. Oh, it's so easy. It is so easy to overspend with Beadbox Bargains. One of my favorite things about them. It is so easy. Well, favorite and not favorite. I mean, because my credit card cries every time I log on to the website. But man, they have the best stuff. They have such pretty things to choose from. And with the coupon, it just makes life so nice. And it makes my beady adventures so much more fun. All right. So that is what we've got. So we start with our little 2 beads in the front, and then 3 sets, 3 little groupings. I don't know. Can you call it a set? I don't think you can. It's a set of 3. Is a set 2? Okay, anyway, forget it. We have 3 connectors here with 5 beads on them each. All right, now it's time to add the little dangles. So I am going to use another jump ring to hook that to the jump ring that my little dangles are already on. This is also going to add a little extra length. I'm going to attach that to this. Let's see. We're going to flip it this direction. Attach it to this bottom loop on the floral connector. So I'm not using that middle loop. I'm using one of the bottom ones. I'm going to close that back. All right, and it might help you to look at this at an angle to see where those are actually going to hang. So that's why I'm using the bottom loop of the flower and not the middle loop. All right, so I'm going to do another one. Sandy says, I do that monthly, weekly, maybe even daily. Oh, goodness. All right, we're going to hook it to the next one. And make sure they're all on the same side. That's also why I like to attach and then kind of lay down to look at it, just to make sure that, like, I didn't accidentally put this one over here on this side, because it's not going to hang in the right spot if I do that. All right, last one. And attach right there. So our top little floral connector, I didn't add any dangles to it. You can if you want to. I honestly was kind of running out of the pink beads and just didn't think that it needed it. So I left those out. But that's what we've got. How pretty is that? This would be beautiful even without the pendant, right? If you just made a beaded necklace out of this, just like this, right? It would be obviously more kind of curved and rounded, and hang your dangles from the center of those flowers so that it really would kind of hang more in a U shape as opposed to the V shape this is going to have because of the heaviness of our pendant. It would be beautiful. These would also make really pretty little bracelets as well. You could do a stack of 2. Be really, really nice. Just extra ideas. All right, but we are going to turn it into a necklace. So or a V-shaped necklace with a pendant. So I'm going to open up another jump ring that was included. And I'm going to hook on my big old focal, which is kind of heavy. And then it's not too heavy, but it's definitely going to make this a V shape and not a U. I'm going to hook on each one of my chains. And then I'm going to close that back. You could use a larger jump ring here if you wanted to. I didn't want the jump ring in the center of this to be part of the focal. Sometimes I do, but for this one, I didn't. I wanted it to just be a jump ring. All right. Look how pretty. Oh, I love that. I love it. It's so pretty. It's got little dangle-doos on it. Yes, 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 yes. Checking all the boxes. All right, the last thing to do is to add our chain. I've already added. I did have to grab a standard lobster clasp out of my own stash, but you could use one of the toggles that's included if you don't want to, dig in your own stuff. The toggle would definitely work. Be very, very pretty. I cut my chain to the length that I needed it and put my jump rings on the ends. So we're going to go ahead and attach those. It is very Victorian feeling. I agree. And then we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. And listen, we don't always, Wanda shows up and I'm like, yep, we're done. We just finished. We don't always have to do a full hour together. Some projects don't take nearly as long as others. And that's okay. That's okay. It means you can go on with the rest of your day and go do other beady things, right? Or whatever else you've got going on. You could add extra dangles if your little Winterberry beady mix has enough of the color that you're using for your dangles. You could add some. I just didn't have enough of the light pink. I had used some of them for something else, so I only had a handful of them. But I do think that the little dangles up here would have been cute, but it's okay that I don't have them. Totally fine. Oh, thank you, Cecilia. Thank you so, so much. Oh, I appreciate you so, so much. So much. All right, friends. So that's it. That's it, you guys. That's all we got. All we got. I'm gonna turn you around and we will take a look. Do you guys think that the extra light in here has helped? I can show you what it looks like without it in case you are. So that's what it normally looks like in here, right? So I think it's helped. I think it's made a difference. Earrings for this, I would definitely like to make some earrings for I don't know what they would be. And I don't have any copper ear wires, I don't think. Wait, look, I have two. I have two left. Okay, hold on. All right, all right. So what shall we add? What should we put with them? So I don't have enough of the little pink dangle-doos, or I could have just done those and kept it simple. However, we could make them all metal, and I could use, let's see, since we're using the poinsettia, I could use holly. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's kind of odd. Let me lower you back down a little bit. Don't like that. The excitement of finding a finding. And it's real excitement. You can't fake that. That's pretty cool because I didn't think I had any more of those. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What can I use? Oh, I mean, I could just make them. Could just make poinsettia earrings to match. Don't know if I have any ear wires that are this color. We'll have to look. But hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Do I have any of the... I don't think I have any of the faceted amethyst left. I wish I did, because two little faceted, like this guy right here, two little faceted amethysts would have been perfect. But oh no, look. Oh, I have some. A pop of purple. Pop of purple. It's exactly what we need. A little pop of purple. Okay, hold on. Let's try to find two that are similar. We'll use those two. Yep. All right. So now we're going to need an eye pin, two eye pins actually. Hey, if you're curious, I got these on Beadbox Bargains. They are really good about, like, if you maybe you have just regular copper and you need antique copper, they usually have antique copper, antique brass, regular brass color, antique silver. Like, if you need findings, it's a good place. It's a good place to grab some. All right. Let's open up our eye pin. So I know these don't have a lot of beads. However, they are going to pair perfectly with the necklace because we've got the poinsettia, we have the little amethyst, and we have the little connector link. So sometimes I feel like I tend to overthink things and make them more complicated than they need to be. This doesn't need to be. These can be simple and it can still be fabulous. So right, so there's our little loop. Open that up. We definitely can make our own ear wires. You guys want to just make some real quick? Those are going to be pretty. I wish I had, I don't know where my metal paints are. It would be so cool to paint those though. I haven't painted anything on a live in a really long time. Do you guys remember when I made these? Some of you guys will remember, some of you won't. You remember when we made these? It's a long time ago. And I have this hanging right on my desk so I can see it all the time. Because I painted the 2 little wooden beads for the sassy little lady with the bun. It's been a minute since we painted anything, but I always have her hanging here as a reminder. Can I do it in one of my lives, please? Says Kim. I gotta find the metal paints though. I gotta find them. I would love to paint something. That would be so fun. Maybe that's what we'll do next week. Let me look around and see if I can find my metal paints. And I'll just find as many pendants as I can and we'll just have a little paint party. You want to? I think that would be fun. I think it would be cool because why not? It's like a coloring book session, but with each other. She uses paint pens. Ooh, I want some paint pens. They make metal paint pens? I did not know that. All the ones that I have are in the bottles that I got from Vintage. I just use a little paintbrush, but I would much prefer a pen. That would be awesome. A painting party would be fun. I think so too. Let's do. Kim says, yes. Oh, my coloring book. I love it. All right, let's paint some stuff. I think that we should. So set your reminders next Tuesday. Let's paint some things. You want? I think it'll be fun. And hopefully if I can't find my metal paints, I can Amazon some here really fast. It'll be fun. And if I have them, then we will always be able to use them. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime you want to just be like, hey, grab some, let's paint something. I have no excuse. So I think that it would be an investment. What do you think? What do you think? I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we're going to make some ear wires to match this. I'm just going to clean up my mess just a little bit real quick before I start a new mess by pulling out the block and hammer. All right, so we're going to need our block. I'm going to set this over here to the side. Whoops. How would you send a Christmas gift to me? I can tell you. You don't have to, but I can tell you how. I can tell you how. So, do you have any of your, like, if you've purchased anything from me, that mailing address is a good shipping address for me. The one that is on any of your kits that I send you, that mailing address, I can get packages there. So if that works. If you don't have that address though, just send me a private message and I will, I'll send it to you. Okay. So we're going to use 20 gauge wire. I know I used 22 gauge to wrap our pendant, but yeah, it's been forever since I painted something. It probably has been pre-COVID for sure. I'm going to use, oh, this is 18 gauge. I can't use 18 gauge for ear wires, but I don't want to use 22 gauge for ear wires because it is just too thin. So grab some 20. And it doesn't take much, but this piece of wire will get both ear wires out of. Okay, so first things first, I like to use my stepped bell making pliers for this. If you don't have the stepped bell making pliers, you can use a combination of your small bell making pliers and your large bell making pliers. But I like to start with a nice flush cut end. Okay. And I'm going to use the smallest mandrel to turn a loop. Okay. Take that off of the tool. Then I'm going to place this back into the tool back here between the two largest mandrels. And I'm going to use the larger one, but you can use either one. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to guide the wire up and over until it comes around and meets up with the loop. And then I'm going to use my cutter tool and I'm going to set that loop right up against the edge of my flush cutter. So it's sitting right there so that I know that the next one of these that I make, it will be cut the exact same length. So I use the tool to do the cutting for me. That way I know that they're always the same size. Always, always, always. All right, then I'm going to take my pliers right at the tip, give that a little bend, and then I'm going to open it up a little bit. Okay, there's one. Now we do have to work harden and file the tip, but there's one. We're going to make the next one. So starting with the flush cut. Okay, grabbing the wire, turning the loop on the end. All right, placing that back into the tool here, using the largest mandrel. I think so too. I think I need to look for the paint pins because then I can have them here on the desk all the time and I don't have to I don't have to look for a paintbrush. I don't have to have, you know, I don't have to look for a paper plate or something to make a mess on. And then you guys can always be like, hey, let's paint it. And I can't say no because they're literally right here. Right? So it's a win-win. All right. So again, setting that loop right up against, gonna give that a trim. And then a little crook on the end. There we go. So there are our two ear wires, but now we are going to work harden these because this is dead soft wire. Even if it were German style wire, I would still want to work harden it, but definitely. Okay, and then test it. Yeah, it feels good. Okay, do the other one. Clear Krylon spray to seal the paint when you're done. Okay, I'll add that to my list. All right, cool. Okay, so now all we need to do now is just file the ends. Don't make your own ear wires without filing the ends. And I don't care if you use a fingernail file to do it. I don't care if you use it doesn't matter, but be sure that you do. Okay. So I'm using my bead reamer. Hold on, I feel a sneeze coming. Excuse me. Okay. So I'm using the bead reamer. I take the bead reamer tip out and replace it, whoops, with the little cup burr, the little wire rounder tip. So I'm going to use that. And I'm just going to, you can see, if you've never seen one of those before, it's a little cup, but it has little grooves in it that helps to file the wire and smooth the ends. And you just want to be sure that you get it as rounded as you can get it. And then I do recommend hitting that with like a little alcohol pad, just to be sure that you get 100% of any of the metal shards off of that. Because you don't want to give these to somebody, a customer or whatever, and it still have the little metal shards on it, because that can really create an infection very, very quickly in a piercing. So just keep those little things in mind. So I can wipe it off with my fingers all day long, but that doesn't mean that I'm getting all of them. You know what I mean? So exactly, Sandy. It is an infection waiting to happen if you don't. And I don't want to be the person to give somebody else an infection, especially not as a gift. Here, Merry Christmas. Have an earring infection. Let me inflame your piercing really quickly. You'll always remember me. Okay, that's good. All righty. Do I ever use a wire jig? I wish that Beadalon still, so they have the big one, you know, that great big monster jig. I don't I gave mine up a long time ago because it was too cumbersome. It took up too much space. It was just not a fun thing to keep around. But they used to do the small jigs. Remember, like the wig jig and the Olympus and all of that. They don't make those anymore. I think they make like one little jig, and it's my least favorite out of all the jigs that have ever jigged. And I haven't used a jig at all since then, because I don't want to like use a competitor's tool. But truthfully, I love jigs. They're so fun. You can make the coolest components with a jig. Things that I feel like we've all forgotten about. You can make those swirly little Christmas trees. You can do so many things with a wire jig, and I feel like they just don't get any love anymore. It's like they had their moment and now they're not cool anymore. They need to be cool again. So I should break down and buy some jigs from the competitors and just tell Beetalon, look, you're gonna have to do better than that monster size jig, because I can't deal with all that. You have the wig jig? The is it the metal one or the acrylic ones? The acrylic ones are the ones that I miss. I feel like those were so cool, and like I don't know what happened to my metal ones other than the big bulky one. So there's our set. What do y'all think? It's pretty, yeah? I think it's very, very pretty. Earrings were a good idea. I'm going to turn you guys around. I'm going to turn you guys around. I need to make a list. I need to make a list. So, um, we're going to need, we're going to need some paint. Gonna need some paint. I'm going to need some clear Krylon. Okay, so we're looking for metal paint pins, Krylon clear, and jigs. Because I know I can find some jigs on Amazon. I betcha. Betcha, betcha, betcha. All right. I love Amazon. I use them for everything. My daughter gave me her Christmas list, and there were like 6 things on her Christmas list that were not on Amazon. And I was like, ugh, could you not have shopped all of your shopping on Amazon and made my life so much easier? Doesn't always work out that way, though. I know. She's like, Mom, these things are important as well. Just because Amazon doesn't have them doesn't mean I don't want them. I know. I know. What do you think? Ooh, here, let's move it over here to the middle. Still getting used to this whole new camera thing. It's weird. But isn't it pretty? And then look at our little earrings that go with, and they're not little, but look at our look at our backwards earrings. There we go. Okay, camera. Wow, still not figuring it out. Can't seem to wrap my head around it. This is all backwards, so I think it's quite lovely. Cute little set. Agreed. How long is my hair now? Um, I have to keep backing up. There's a cat asleep in the. It is. So the additional hair is 22 inches long, if that helps. So I don't know. Really long. I feel like Cher. Yeah, it's giving Cher for sure, but just in red. And I don't always make it straight anymore. I usually do the curls because when it is straight, it is so heavy. It's like crazy heavy. Um, and then when it has the curls in the bottom of it, it takes a lot of the weight out of it. So yeah. You miss my waves. I try to alternate. I'll do like a week with the waves and a week without the waves. So you'll probably see the waves next week. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. It's not mine. I mean, it is. I didn't grow it. It's sewn in. It's not all mine, but yeah. So anyway, yeah. So if you go back and look at the lives, it's funny because like one live, I have like my regular, like, my hair usually comes to like my normal hair comes to about right here. Wow, I cannot camera today at all. My normal hair comes to about right here. And then the very next live after that, all of a sudden I have really long hair. It's like, whoa, how did that happen? Lots of biotin. um Okay, so paint pens, Krylon, and that's right, it's mine. I bought it. It's definitely mine. I didn't grow it, but I bought it. Jigs, and then hold on. Yeah, Dana just messaged me. Yes, 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 Dana, send me a message, my love. I do want it. I do. I do. You have tester enamel paints for model cars. Would they work? That is an interesting question. I don't know. If it sticks to metal, I would say it would work just fine. Because I mean, it's all got to be the same kind of formula, right? All right. You paid a lot. You're darn right I did. I don't like to tell people how much, but yeah. Real hair is expensive. It's very expensive, but it was worth it. I told my stylist, his name is Giuseppe, and he's the best. He's also my massage therapist too. He's the most wonderful human being ever. And I said, Giuseppe, I want to feel glamorous every single day. How can you do that? And he was like, with hair, honey, with hair. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Whatever that means, let's do it. So that's what we did. And I had to save up. I had a little jar, not really, but like in my mind, a little hair jar that I saved up the money for the hair. And yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. It's a lot of maintenance, but because you have to treat it very differently because it doesn't get the same oils that since it's not actually grown from your scalp, you have to oil it, you have to sleep in a bonnet, you have to do all the things because it doesn't get the natural oils from your head. So you have to treat it a certain way. And it's a lot, but it makes me feel glamorous every single day. Like, no joke. Even if I don't have makeup on, even if I'm walking around in my pajama, like I still feel very, very glamorous. And I don't know, it was an instant boost to my self-confidence, which is really dumb, I know. But they do say, Native Americans say that the Native American warriors, their power was in their hair. You know what I mean? Like that hair was a big deal to them. And that's where their power and their strength came from, was from their hair. And I got to tell you, there's got to be some truth to that because I feel like a queen. So if you could ever do anything like it, do it. I'm trying to convince my mom. I'm like, Mom, you don't understand. It'll change your life. But it is not dumb to feel good about yourself. You're right, Wanda, and I should not say that. I should own it. It makes me feel very good about myself. And so, yes, it was worth every single penny. Does Q like it? He loves it. The day that I walked in, he was sitting here at his desk and he was turned around doing something, and I stood in the doorway and he turned around and looked at me, and he turned back around and then he turned back and looked again, and then he did it again, and I was like, yeah, I won. I won. I won. I won. He loves it. He does love it. Everybody likes it. Is it human hair? It is human hair. Yes. It is human hair that is donated from people who can grow really long, fabulous hair. So, yeah, it's just kind of weird, but listen. If I could grow really long, luxurious hair and donate it, I most definitely would. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. So, we've had this whole weird conversation about hair. Sherry, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love it. My hair just won't grow. I mean, it will, but it grows real slow, even with the biotin and all the things. So, yeah. All right. I am out of here. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging with me and putting up with this new camera. Eventually, I will get used to it and I will stop looking all over the place trying to make contact with you. You're right here. All right, I'm out of here. I love you. Hardwired. I will be seeing you guys at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. We're putting together some beautiful snowflakes, and they're not made out of wire. We're doing those. We're doing bead weaving. We're doing some snowflakes. So don't forget, if you'd like to be a Hardwired member, we're open for enrollment right now. Would love for you to come and be a part of that. If you're not a Hardwired member, though, I will be seeing you on Friday at 1 p.m. for our Feel Good Friday show. So have an amazing rest of your week. Go do something creative. Go do something that makes you feel good about yourself. And I will see you soon. Mwah.